internet has been one of the most transformative developments in human history. Over 2 billion people worldwide now have access to vastly more information and services than ever before. One of the biggest beneficiaries of this connectivity is the adoption of e-commerce in all areas of online business. E-commerce is essentially business conducted in cyberspace using the internet. Any commercial transaction that is completed solely through electronic measures can be considered as e-commerce. It also communicates with the understanding and transmitting of funds or data through business-to-business relativity. More and more consumers can communicate efficiently with online businesses to purchase goods and services using the internet. With the big improvement in smartphones over the past 6 years, it is possible to everything you can do on a computer on a smartphone, including business. E-commerce has vastly improved efficiency and productivity in many areas of business due to its convenience with communications to consumers and focusing on refining customer service. A good example is how cloud services can be used to store information and data on demand. This eliminates huge amounts of resources to store them in. Alternatively, large educational institutions like the universities can now access many paying students because of the courses are online. In order for e-commerce to be established for use by consumers, there is some important infrastructure required. In Australia, the NBN network has significantly increased download and upload speeds much faster in some areas, which increases efficiency and flexibility of what the user can do. Consumers require bank accounts and credit cards too, otherwise purchasing over the internet is impossible. Banking institutes such as Westpac and the ANZ are online, allowing customer connectivity 24 hours a day. The delivery of goods has enabled a boom in transport companies that deliver to the consumer's door. Companies such as eBay, Amazon are responsible for starting this e-commerce revolution. 60% of the world's population do not have access to reliable internet or any internet at all. This is 4.2 billion, a huge market that could be helped out of poverty by technology such as the internet. Without access to computers and internet connections at a reasonable cost, citizens in developing countries will be unable to migrate from traditional markets to electronic markets. In recent years, social media giant Facebook formed an enterprise called Internet.org, a coalition of companies with the mission of implementing cheap internet access for these people. This could be a game changer for e-commerce into the poorer nations of the globe. Many of the benefits will be as they have been in the developed world, such as in education, social networking, and cheaper products. Internet access will also give rise to entrepreneurship within populations, and we could see some big things in the future from places most of us have never heard of. E-commerce promises to be the stimulating catalyst for economic growth in developing nations if the problem of connectivity can be solved. However, there are many problems that need to be overcome before global e-commerce can gain a foothold in these impoverished nations. Firstly, many poorer nations suffer from the basic necessities of life such as clean water, electricity, and food. Rural Africans, for instance, spend most of their day just trying to find enough water and food to survive. Would these people be able to use a computer or iPhone and do business? Established trade in these nations will be difficult to compare to e-commerce, particularly in agricultural areas that practice sustenance farming or farming food to barter for other goods. Secondly, government policy is a big reason many of these countries remain poor. A good example is Zimbabwe, since Robert Mugabe gained control and ruled the economy. Due to the amount of money and time required to be invested to build appropriate framework to implement e-commerce, government initiative lags behind, and thus the digital ecosystem of e-commerce is neglected. War and famine can also displace people from their homes, such as what is happening in Somalia and Syria. However, in these situations, it has been the mobile connectivity that has allowed refugees to keep in touch with loved ones and choose a country to flee to. Poorer countries, as we have seen, can benefit from the establishment of e-commerce. If by some chance the Internet.org coalition succeeds to bring internet access to developing countries, the future could be very bright for not only its people, but worldwide online businesses. The most powerful tool the internet will bring to poorer people is knowledge. This knowledge will affect them positively by making them educated and wealthier, and also more informed about the digital world they live in. Increased e-commerce globally will benefit many countries and companies. However, the cost may be to the environment as more products are needed to satisfy the demand. More products requires more resources, and as we all know, the Earth is suffering today from the demands of human development. 4.2 billion more consumers should have the privilege of e-commerce and the benefits of the internet. But at what cost to us all?